There's really nothing that even comes close to the aura I feel walking through the halls of my school. I mean, I got my earbuds in, hands in my pocket, walking around like I'm the main character in my own isekai, all while I'm listening to stuff like... Dear God, this is the best thing I've ever heard. I mean, this shit has got me with the... Oh.
Where did you learn what it means to reciprocate? How much can I be expected to tolerate?
So as someone who's never really been a fan of trendy music or rap, the topic of what songs I listen to is always like a weird one. Ever since I started watching anime, or well, even before that, all the way back in elementary school, my music taste was strictly defined by two things: Minecraft parodies and Pokemon openings. But Yuli, you do know that Pokemon is an anime, meaning that your statement saying that, even before watching that Japanese I listened to the f***ing out of my f***ing Pokemon music, contradicts itself, and therefore doesn't make any actual sense. Okay, I didn't say that, first of all. And secondly, I don't really consider me watching Pokemon and Speed Racer as a 6-year-old as watching anime, since I didn't even know what that was back then. As far as I'm concerned, me thinking that weebs were cool and watching Attack on Titan back in middle school was my actual first introduction to anime. I really don't understand how I get so sidetracked all the time. Weird music taste, okay? It's not a good thing. While everyone's listening to what's generally classified as cool music, I'm stuck with my top 50 anime openings, or whatever Vocaloid or Nightcore songs I can get my greasy little weeb hands on. Obviously, whatever music that I listen to is my own business, but every now and again, it comes up in conversation, and like, what am I supposed to do? Admit and come clean about my musical tendencies? Tell the world that I have anime girls singing directly into my ears for the vast majority of the day? Yo, what are you listening to? Kendrick, Lamer. You mean Lamar? Lamar! I said that!
The Bluetooth device is connected.
Now, this is the second joke I've made about my Bluetooth stabbing me in the back, but nowadays I'm actually super careful and sometimes overly aware of it. Like, regardless of if I'm walking through the halls or studying in the library, I take my earbuds out to check if they're still connected probably every 5 to 10 minutes because you have got me tripping if you think I'm gonna expose myself by walking around letting people know that this is what's blasting into the holes on the sides of my head. There was actually this one time in high school where I was, sitting in the car with a girl. What was that? It was at night. I was sitting in the backseat of a car with a female from my class, and I'm not gonna lie, your boy was not ready whatsoever. Okay, so I've made it this far. She's chilling on her phone. I made a foolish mistake and left mine up front. So it's gonna be too awkward for me to climb forward and grab it. So as long as I play it cool and nothing randomly happens, that's totally out of my control.
The Bluetooth device is connected.
Okay, this is fine. I'm glad I didn't have any music playing before because that would be totally...
Remember me.
We were sitting in the car and I must have left my Disney playlist on because Remember Me from freaking Coco starts blasting on max volume. My soul left my body. I jumped forward to grab my phone to turn it off before I lost too much aura, which didn't really work either because up until about 2 years ago, I was rocking some dirt cheap cell phones from China instead of a Samsung or an iPhone. Meaning back then, it would have taken me a full 10 seconds to get my slow ass phone unlocked. And by the time I got that song turned off, my aura was in the negatives. And this girl she looked at me with what I can only describe as pity mixed with disgust mixed with secondhand embarrassment. Ever since that day, I've had a normal person playlist queued up if I have company, just in case my phone decides to connect again out of the blue. Okay, one more quick story before the video ends. My freshman year English class. So when I was in high school, I had a ton of teachers that would do that thing. You know, alright class, welcome to your very first day of high school. Now that you're all settled in, take a look at the number on your desk. Now, go over to the door and find the pocket labeled with your number and put your phone in it, you dirty little brats who can't look away from those dang phones for 2 seconds to watch Conjunction Junction on the projector. So my English teacher was one of those that made us put our cell phones into one of those pocket things that hang on the door so that we're not distracted during class. It was kind of annoying, but I didn't really mind because I wouldn't dare be on my phone in the first place. My school had a habit of blowing things way out of proportion. If you weren't a straight A student. Anyway, I put my phone up there on my first day without a second thought. But what totally slipped my mind was that during the summer, I was getting out of bed at like 1 p.m. So on the very first day of class, we were in the middle of introductions or whatever we were doing, when from across the room, I heard, I had forgotten to turn off my alarm. Don't think too much about why I was waking up to Nightcore, but I had forgotten to turn off my alarm before I went to school, and it rang out for the entire class to hear. The amount of shame I felt getting up and walking across the front of the class to turn it off was borderline immeasurable. Semi-moral of the story, always double check that you've cancelled your alarms before you go into public, or just don't wake up to anime music every day. Actual moral of the story, you can't really help what kind of music you're into, and lying to yourself to fit in is just pathetic. So instead of lying to yourself, save yourself the embarrassment of being different and lie to everyone else around you instead. Wait, isn't that actually bad advice? Yeah, but it worked for me, so it'll work for them too. Okay.